In 2014, WHO established that around 7 million people are dying every year because of the increase of pollution. Pollution is a major concern. Pollution does not affect only the respiratory tract or the circulatory system. It has been shown that pollution affects also cutaneous tissues. Since 2010-2011, papers have been published showing clearly association between the high incidence of skin issues such as eczema, dermatitis, even some links to psoriasis and also to cancer with exposure and living in urban area where pollution is over the limits recommended by the WHO. Indeed, we know by now that 90% of the urban population lives in places where the air is out of the standards recommended for health being. Said that, all these pollutants are for sure an effect on the tissue by different ways. When we say pollutants, although is a one word, it includes many different compounds. And we have, thanks to the EPA that divided pollutants in mainly 6 groups, we have particulates, we have ozone, we have cigarette smoke, and other compounds that are less important at that moment. But as we all know, pollutants really reminds us of particulates damage. We all have the idea of Bangkok or Singapore or even India cities where the pollutants is really high and is very hard to breathe. So what I would like to tell you now is how these pollutants act. It has been shown, for example, that particle might be able to penetrate the skin through the hair follicle, although this is not really well demonstrated yet. On the other hand, ozone is not able to penetrate the skin by interact with the lipids on the out layer of the skin, the stratum corneum, to generate bioactive compounds that then will activate a cascade of pathways that will lead to an inflammatory status. Cigarette smoke has been shown to have both effects. From one side, the particulate matter of the cigarette smoke can interact with stratum corneum and might penetrate. On the other hand, the gas phase instead just interact with the outmost layer of the skin. All these different mechanisms lead to a same or similar pathways that we can summarize with increase of oxidative messengers such as hydrogen peroxide, hydroxyl radicals, and these can lead to the formation of peroxidative products such as alpha-beta unsaturated aldehydes, and these are very reactive because are able to bind to proteins covalently and alterate the protein functions. So what we have that all these compounds, they have a common denominator, which is the generation of ROS or oxidative molecules, increased peroxidation, and all of these will lead to inflammatory status that will trigger even the degradation of the matrix of the skin. So just remember that the effect of pollution on skin does not affect only skin appearance, but this can be the trigger for serious or maybe less serious skin conditions that can affect the normal day life, although they are not sometimes life-threatening, but can really have an issue on your normal day.